Hola, this is Anna with Mindful Online Gym. Welcome to our show. So today we're going to be focusing on some more myths as we did last week about exercise and nutrition and other health themes in general. And I wanted to talk about this today for a couple of reasons. One of the reasons is because many times I start working with clients and I get questions like, well, is it enough if I walk? Or is it enough if I dance? Or is it enough if I play tennis? And all those things are wonderful and they are great recreational activities that I enjoy myself. I'm a dancer, I play tennis, I started playing golf last year even. And I also tell them that if you really want to keep your body nice and healthy, it's very important to also do a strength training and not just cardio. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more today. The other reason why is because one of my clients brought my attention to a video. Actually, it was posted on Instagram. It was a very short video that the World Economic Forum just shared with information saying how a workout is 3 times more effective than 10,000 steps. And I know a lot of you are probably doing those 10,000 steps daily, right? Especially because you get those amazing fireworks. I've seen them. I know how it works. I don't do it myself. But I know that after the 10,000 steps, you get this amazing fireworks, this feeling of accomplishment, and just understanding that that's obviously really good because you've been outdoors, you've been moving your body, you've been moving your muscles, you've been getting the energy. But also understanding that sometimes might not be enough, or in some cases, it might actually be too much. And we are going to be talking about that as well today. So, welcome. And I want to start with talking a little bit about the benefits about exercise. Why do we exercise in the first place, right? Do you just do it because your trainer tells you, or your doctor tells you, or you don't like it, but at least you get to do it, right? I'm just going to give you a list of some of the benefits that I know for a fact that exercise brings into our life. So, one of the main ones is that we decrease body fat when we exercise. And we definitely want leaner, toner bodies and muscles. So, that's one of the most important ones that a lot of people exercise for. That's one of the reasons why, right? Another one is because we increase our basal metabolic rate. And that is great. Also, because as we talk about in our previous chapter, actually, when you increase your metabolism, you're going to be spending more calories, even at rest. And that is going to help you lose more fat. We increase our strength, obviously. We increase our muscle mass, our strength increases. We increase our bone density. This is very important, especially as we age, because we start losing bone density, we start losing muscle mass as well as the process of aging. And for women, it's a little bit higher than for men. Actually, to tell you a little fact, the method of training that I practice that is based on the mindful online workouts, which is the technique that I've created, that is based on high intensity and super slow training. Super slow training started doing a study in women with osteoporosis. Women over 50, excuse me, not 50, they were not fitted, they were losing bone, they were not in very good shape. And what they discovered is that by slowing down the movement during exercise, they did it for safety reasons, by going very intense on the exercise, meaning heavy weight, these women not only decrease on their osteoporosis levels, but they actually in some cases disappear. So this is going to be very important, a great benefit that we get from exercise. Another one is that we increase our cardiovascular efficiency. Wonderful to know as well. We increase our glucose tolerance. We increase our HDL cholesterol, which is the good cholesterol. Those three things are going to prevent us from heart disease, from having diabetes type 2, and from having high cholesterol, which are evidently, you know, probably somebody that is taking medication from one of these, or maybe for those three. And we can prevent those diseases just simply by exercise. Exercise is also going to increase our resistance to injury. The stronger we are, the stronger our muscles and our bones are, the less the risk of injury that we will experience. It's going to improve our flexibility. So not only exercises like yoga and stretching alone, although I offer those classes in my online gym, they are wonderful. But not only those exercises are going to improve your flexibility, also strength training will. It's going to also improve your immune system. And these days, I don't know about you, but I just want to have the immune system as strong as I can so I can prevent anything. And in case I get to, unfortunately, suffer of any disease, I can recover a little bit faster by having your immune system stronger. So, isn't that wonderful? All those amazing benefits that we are getting from exercise. And the reason why I wanted to give you the list is because now we're going to talk a little bit about how do you get these benefits. And specifically, I like to focus on another 5 myths like we did last time. And the first one is about cardio. And something that I hear a lot from people that I just start working with or people that I'm talking to about a strength training. And the myth is that you need to actually do cardio, and I'm going to tell you why I'm saying it in that way, to get any cardiovascular benefits. So cardio activities are the ones, right, like running, like um, dancing, as I was saying before, like playing tennis, like doing any activity that is going to get your heart rate up. That's what cardio simply is. Strength training, if it's done correctly, if it's done to the correct intensity, can also be a wonderful cardiovascular exercise, meaning your heart rate is going to go higher. It's going to pump up and it's going to give you all those nice results that we just talked about and all those nice benefits that we just talked about to prevent cardiovascular disease. And I would say something else. What happens when you're doing strength training is that you are not putting any tension or any impact on your muscles and your joints as you do those exercises compared to how cardiovascular exercise does. So you're getting the cardio benefit without the discomfort that doing a lot of high impact exercise could cause in the future. And I see in my practice a lot of people that unfortunately have gone through knee replacements and hip replacements because of that same reason, right? So what I hear a lot too is from people saying, I need the high that running gives me. I need the high, that the cardio give me. And again, that is great. And I continue to dance even these days. And I'm also very careful and very conscious that my body needs to be very strong. It has to have a strong baseline in order to be able to withstand those activities. And if your body has given you the sign that probably is not the best thing for you, I will try to find, this is my suggestion, some other activities that are providing you with that psychological benefit without putting any pressure on your joints and knees and hips, shoulders, if they are already stressed. So that was myth number 1. And if you knew it, that is wonderful. I'm not doing my drum rolls and my applause today, but I will at the end. So myth number 2, this is something that I also hear from especially for some reason, women, that you need to also do the cardiovascular exercise in order to lose weight. And this is another misconception. This is the misconception that we feel that we need to exercise, and during that time is when we are losing calories. And what really happens is that you lose fat from your body overall because you have more muscle mass. So during exercise, you're really not spending a lot of calories. It could just be replaced by a couple of cookies, 3 cookies, that's it. It's just a few hundred. But what really matters is the amount of muscle that you're building. The best way to build muscle is by strength training. So by definition, strength training is the best, fastest, and most efficient way that you can actually lose fat after you've gained all that nice big muscle that you're going to build. Especially because we are going to be doing a little bit more high intensity training, which is lifting a little bit of heavier weights. So that was myth number 2. Number 3 It's that misconception also that I hear a lot of the times, that more exercise, more repetitions is better. More always is going to give us the best results in exercise. If we exercise every day for an hour and we're doing the cardio and we are doing all these things that have been promoted for many years, but that in recent years, fortunately, all the research is showing that actually short, infrequent, but intense exercise is going to yield the best results. So, next time that you're thinking that you have to do more, listen to your body. Rest is as important as the activity. If you don't provide your muscles, if you don't provide your body with the time frame that it needs to recover and become stronger, because exercise is just an stimulus. And during that stimulus, what we're actually doing is breaking the muscle fibers so they can come back together and become stronger after they recover. But if we are constantly breaking them and we are not giving them that time to repair, we're actually creating more damage than the good benefits that we want to get from exercise. And in this case, specifically strength, right? So next time that you're thinking about that, think about how you can combine, and this I work with my clients always, organizing a schedule where you do a high intensity exercise one day and a not so high intensity the next day. So something that is more intense and then allowing for your body to give some periods of rest. For example, we do have a program that we offer a couple of times a year that is called the Quantum Program. And during this one, we challenge the body to exercise every day. We do that. We also do some nutrition, a cleanse for 21 days. And we encourage our clients to schedule one day of strength training, one day of yoga. You can go for a strength training again, then maybe a Pilates class, then maybe you can do a strength training again. But I would not recommend doing a strength training, especially with intensity, more than 3 times a week. And the more intense you go, the less the frequency. So sometimes if you go to muscular failure, which is the point where your muscles achieve a momentary fatigue, where they cannot do any more force, you actually might have enough with just once a week or maybe every 10 days. Isn't that great? So another myth here that we are breaking: the less you exercise, sometimes the better for your body. All right, what else are we going to talk about today? Myth number 4 talks about lifting heavy weights and how some people, I hear this also, it's not safe. And well, this is all in moderation and this is all on a personal basis, right? So obviously, I'm not going to be able to lift as much weight as Arnold Schwarzenegger probably still does these days, but especially as he did as a bodybuilder, right? For him, high intensity and how much weight he can handle is going to be much higher than, for example, a person like myself. But maybe what gives me intensity is going to be not enough for another person and too much for another. Does that make sense? So when I talk to my clients, when I lead my classes and my privates, I always recommend how much weight you can use in each of the exercises to give yourself enough resistance and enough intensity. But it's very subjective. You want to find a weight, you want to find a resistance if you're using bands that allows you to be on the exercise for, let's say, about 2 to 3 minutes. And at that point, you should be able to be so fatigued that you probably cannot perform any more repetitions. If you can go for 5 minutes, if you can go for 6 minutes, it's probably too light. And if you're just doing 30 seconds or a minute, it's probably too heavy. And all that moving very slowly. You want to lift the weights in about 5 to 10 seconds. You want to lower the weights in another 5 to 10 seconds. So you can actually keep it safe and keep it very intense as well. So don't be scared of lifting heavy weights. It is safe as long as you do it given your constitution and given your strength. Okay, and the last one for today. This is specifically for my women, although it also applies to men. If I lift weights, I will get bulky and big. And I think I talked about this one last week, but I think it's so important. And this has to do with the amount of testosterone that we have in our system. This is why men develop muscle a lot easier than women do. And if you're a woman and your tendency is to grow big muscles, it's because the amount of testosterone you have is also a little bit higher. So there's nothing really you can do in order to not have that happening. And I think big muscles are wonderful. For women that don't like it, my recommendation is to not work the smaller muscle groups, but to go for the bigger muscle groups so you can actually avoid for the smaller ones to get bigger than you would like to. All right, that is all for today. I'm just gonna give you a little bit of music here as we leave, but before I do that, I want to leave you with an invitation. If you want to continue this conversation, if you have any questions, I would love to hear from you. Just simply go to my website, Mindful Online Gym, and there you can schedule a Get in Shape complimentary session with me where we can talk about this. We can talk about my quantum program coming up in January. If you'd like to do something a little bit more challenging and intense, or simply if you have any questions about today or anything else that you'd like to explore further, I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all hopefully very soon. Stay healthy, stay strong, make sure that you rest. And we didn't talk about food today, but we will in the future as well. Eating healthy.